Barkevisser, the modern day mystic, as she helps you find your personal intuitive uniqueness and universal alignment for a more meaningful life. You're listening to The Modern Day Mystic with your host, Cynthia Barkevisser.
Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. This is Cynthia Barkevisser, your modern day mystic. And today we're going to talk about the importance of play in intuitive work. So, if you may remember that being a modern day mystic is walking in alignment, which means that your spiritual and intuitive and practical self are all walking together as one. And believe it or not, we tend to take ourselves just a tad bit too seriously. So, I want to remind listeners that I will be doing readings a little bit later in the show. Feel free to call in, and I'll take readings as they come in. And if you could just call into 657-383-0608 and press 1 if you want to talk with me. Also, you can ask a question in the chat room, and I'll be glad to answer it that way as well. So this topic came out of a conversation I had today with my accountability partner. Now, if you don't have an accountability partner in any way, shape, or form, I highly recommend it. And an accountability partner really is just a person that witnesses the commitments that you're going to make for the day or for the week. And if you would like them to be your cheerleader, ask them to be your cheerleader. If you want them to be your I don't know if you can say that word, hard A word, and let them be that hard A word. Let them be that tough coach, do the tough love. But the accountability is, and just part of the accountability is committing to talking to your person on a daily basis. So, long story even longer, I have an accountability partner, and we were talking today, and the topic that I had today just wasn't sitting right with me. And so I asked her what was on her agenda for today. And she read this sweet passage from a book that she and a couple of her friends are working on. And it talked about the importance of play and of how to take ourselves so seriously and just to relax and be kind to ourselves. So I thought what I'd do is I take that conversation because I love play. Play is an amazing thing. It balances us out. It helps us remember that, there's a lot of seriousness in life and that pretty much we're experts on being serious, and that play is something that is worth revisiting. So if you take a look on my Facebook page, you'll see that today's post is Calvin and Hobbes. And I take a lot of my sage wisdom from the almighty Bill Watterson. He was an amazing, he's still an amazing artist. He had that great comic strip, Calvin and Hobbes, for, over a decade, in which he was this 6-year-old boy with a imaginary tiger who was ferocious and wise and playful all at once. And if you take a look at today's posting, it is Calvin and Hobbes dancing, which you'll find out is at a very unusual time of the day, which makes his parents a little worried. But anyway, the thing that I like about Calvin and Hobbes is if you were to read in an article with Bill Watterson, they asked how did he get with his comic strip every day. And what he said is that he was very committed to getting to his office by a certain time every day, and then he'd lay out everything, and then he would just focus on something. And his window, I believe, faced the backyard, and there were woods in the back. And it could be anything that would start the topic. So it could be a bug that he just watches for, a very long time as the bug does its thing, and the next thing you know, content comes out. Sometimes he took cues. There is one great. Well, there's a couple, but one of my favorites is that he is Spaceman Spiff, and you could see that as he's getting bored in the classroom, his imagination takes him to different galaxies and beyond, and it's just so smart and so Great. Now, why am I saying that? Is that um, what Bill did that we don't do is that we don't allow ourselves to focus and relax at the same time. And it's in this amazing, it sounds like they are opposite, but they actually can be done simultaneously. So if you can focus and relax at the same time, that's when the imagination takes place. And where the imagination is, that is where your intuition is. That is where that's where the universe is ready to talk with you, and you can have some pretty amazing conversations. Now, if you don't have the formula that Mr. Watterson has, I am happy to tell you how I play. There's more than one way, but my favorite is I have a special group of friends, of which one is my partner, and we play this game called I and I. And I and I is short for illegal and inappropriate. And as funky as that sounds, it's actually a really fun way to be silly and get creative without really breaking the law or and just going too far. So you have to be super creative. So how it started is one day. At that time, we were just friends. Dee and I were in between workouts, and I think we were both kind of bored and trying to figure out how we were going to fill the space between the workouts. And I said, "So, what are you doing?" And somehow the word illegal and inappropriate came up, and we kind of got quiet. And all of a sudden, Dee said, "What are you thinking about?" And I said, "I'm wondering if I start with jaywalking, what are you going to do?" And so then we played off and to see how we could boost we could boost each other and see where this would take us. Now the thing that's really beautiful is that it's silly, it's fun. There's some kind of competition in it, but in a way that there's user and we're just gaining experience. And some really creative stuff comes out of it. Now, does that mean my rings are better that day? I can't tell you that, but I can tell you that having the game I and I in my life, I can go back and it helps me relax. It helps me remember to be very spontaneous, and then guess what happens? I ease in and the information comes. So that's one thing. The other thing that I recommend is if you have any young people in your life, the younger the better, go play with them. They demand your attention. They demand focus, and they are all about their imagination. And I happen to have a very special girl in my life. Her name is Harper. She's very young. She doesn't say her S's all the time. So, if something doesn't smell right, it's pinky. She has she likes to pretend she's a kunk instead of a skunk. And we play and have a great time. And what that does is that it helps me relax, and I get to connect. And the next thing you know, you can sleep. So when I say we can sleep, I mean I can sleep at night. And so again, what happens is that the kids demand that you use your imagination, and because they are so much fun and they are so close to it, they're just right there. It's very simple for you to access your imagination and just go with them. So, and once that happens, there's all kinds of expansion. So my question to you is, when's the last time you played Legos? Or when's the last time you had Lincoln Logs? Or I know I'm dating myself, but there you have it. Now, what I'd love to do is tell you a little bit more of how to access your intuition through play. But in the meantime, if you have any kind of question related to modern day mystic, play, focus, overwork, please give me a call, 657-383-0608, and press 1 if you want to talk with me, or just hop into the chat room, and I'm happy to answer your questions that way. Now, what's really important in order for your intuition to kick in this play is the how can I say this? The permission or the allowance to have at least a certain amount of time to allow yourself to relax in a different way. 20 minutes is a great start, and the more you can do, the better. And consistency, it's consistency over having one big day and less time. So the other rule that besides the time is that you're always right. There's nothing wrong with your imagination. You get to do whatever you want, and you could do it however you want. If you feel like being at home and you're by yourself and you can't get to the imagination game, go shopping. There's nothing better than wearing stuff, trying on clothes or trying on jewelry that you wouldn't normally do. So if you want to enjoy your inner cowboy, go to a store that has jeans and boots and hats. If you want to be, the elegant person, try out some evening wear. It's really satisfying. It doesn't cost you anything, and for just a moment, you are in that space. You are more than you, but you at the same time, you're truly you. And once you open that up, you get to hear the authenticity of the universe. Highly, highly recommend it. Now, let's just say, I don't know people like this. Actually, I know a couple. But let's just say you're not into shopping, especially window shopping. Well, there are colored pencils and there's blank paper. There's nothing better than coloring. Those meditation books, what they're called, they're mindfulness books that you can color. They have mandalas. Those are amazing. And sit down. I have a friend who shared her mandala books. That was really sweet of her. Of course, we didn't get to color in her books, and I totally don't blame her for that. But what she did is that she took a couple of pages from the books and made some copies, and all sat and colored together. And it was really sweet because it was quiet. We all knew we were in the same space, and we got experience with colors that we hadn't experienced in a while. I mean, I haven't colored in a really long time. So that's one other thing that I would recommend. The weather is amazing, and one of my favorite things to do is puddle jump. Puddle jumping is great exercise. It allows you to get wet, which is things that we don't normally allow ourselves to do, and we get to laugh at ourselves. A couple of years ago, I was a martial arts teammate of mine, and he is a young man in his early 20s, and so puddle jumping was not in his repertoire. So we came across this huge puddle, and I suggested having a puddle jumping contest to see who could make the biggest splash without, who could splash the other person without getting yourself wet. And it was really funny because for just a few minutes of time, I wasn't twice his age, and he wasn't some urban kid. We were just two people checking out this huge puddle, doing whatever we can not to get dirty, but at the same time going, it would be so great if I could splash him, and having a really, really fun time with it. And it was nice to have an experience with someone that normally, we train, and the training is beautiful and creative, and it's playful, but this is just a different thing. You get to pretend that you're 5 years old or access your 5-year-old. So I see that I have a couple of callers. What I'd like to do is talk about one more thing, and then we'll go to break, and then I will focus on you two and whoever else would like to call in. Again, the call-in number is 657-383-0608. You press 1 if you want to with me, or you just go ahead and pop into the pop into the chat room, and I'm happy to answer your questions that way. So just to recap, we're talking about play, reading the comic strips, coloring, do some dress up, whether it's it's either at home, behind the closed curtains, or going out shopping and, having fun, pretending that you're going to go to this amazing soiree, or that you're getting ready to go to a dude ranch, or that you need to prepare for the military. Whatever it is that you want to do. It's so much fun. Coloring and puddle jumping. So much fun. Now listen, I'm going to take a break in just a moment. What I'd like to do is let you all know that if you're not feeling it, if you're feeling like, hey, I really want to ask a question, but I'm feeling a little shy, you are more than welcome to connect with me by email or through my website, and we can do one-on-one consultation that way. I'm also at Angel Heart for You in Benicia this Saturday. Would love to see you there. And I have classes on Thursdays in Berkeley. There are just so many ways to connect. So please feel free to connect with me in a way that's most comfortable for you. Okay? 657-383-0608. I'll be taking calls after the break. I will talk to you then. All right?
Experience the magic of Angel Heart for You, nestled in the heart of beautiful downtown Benicia, California. Embrace the aroma of scented candles, essential oils, incense, and aromatherapy products as you wander the aisles of inspirational and metaphysical books and gifts. Enjoy the positive energy vibrating in this historical site where the well-known author Jack London was once a frequent visitor. If you're in need of a smile or a hug, Angel Heart for You is the place to visit. Do you have an intention or a wish to manifest? Experience the magic of our intention tree. Email us at angelheartforyourradiochannel@gmail.com and be included in our sacred intention tree ritual. Just write us your intention and we'll offer it up in fire along with those left in our store. Then offer them again to the beach and water in Benicia. May angels be with you in all your comings and goings. Love, Angel Heart for You. Join us for the experience of a lifetime. Sacred Connections Sedona Retreats invites you to a powerful 3-day retreat in the beauty of the high desert. People travel from all over the world just to experience the healing vortexes in Sedona, Arizona. Through a series of mindful meditations and spiritual activities amongst the Red Rocks, let the land call you home to your higher self and source. Surrender, transform, Sedona. Sacred Connections Sedona Retreat is hosted by Angel Heart for You radio hosts Tana Newberry and Linda Grindell. Learn more at www.sacredconnectionssedona.com.
Well, hello there. You're back with Cynthia Kivisser, your Modern Day Mystic, and I am just getting ready to take calls for readings. If you want to be one of those people, please feel free to give me a call. The phone number is 657-383-0608, and just press 1, and you'll get connected with me. All right? So I am going to take my first caller. Her name is Suzanne, and she is in Toronto. Suzanne, are you there? How
Yeah,
you doing,
hi. Can you hear
Suzanne?
me?
I
Hi.
can. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Um,
Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you. You answer questions on relationships, don't you?
I do. I do them. I do them today, and I focus on relationships on Friday. So I'm happy to take your call today, and you're more than welcome to call back on Friday if you have any follow up questions.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Um,
So how can I help you?
well, can I? I don't want to give you too much specifics. I just want you to tell me if you what you pick up on relationships.
Well, I can tell you right now that where you are right now is that you have. There's two things going on in your heart chakra. Do you know? Much about chakras, chakra
Yeah.
centers?
Yeah.
Great. So you got a lot going on in your heart chakra center as well as in your throat chakra, and your heart chakra is ruling over. That doesn't mean that. That doesn't mean that. You're having issues with love. What that means is that the way that you're communicating love right now is not matching how you're feeling. Does that make sense when I say that?
Maybe. I'm not really sure.
Okay. So let me put it to you this way. If I am, let's just say I'm seeing someone in my community that I like, and I would like it to be a little bit more, I'd like to explore, right? My heart is to take a chance on this person and see where it takes us, right? Whether it's with this person or with someone else, I'm actually ready to take a chance. My throat chakra is saying, I don't even know how to get that. I don't know how to have that conversation. I don't know how to go from friend zone to beyond friend zone. Okay, that's an example of heart chakra not being in alignment with the throat chakra. Okay, your heart is really, really wanting to be in a relationship, but it's more than just relationship with a person. You're also start looking and seeing that you're wanting to connect with many people on many different levels. And right now it looks like a relationship, but you're also in a place where it's really important that you are recognized in your field, that you're recognized in your that you are connected beyond that of one-on-one. Okay, does that make sense?
I think when I said relationships, I thought I was hoping for you to tell me what you saw around me as far as
okay.
Yeah.
So let me rephrase. Okay, so I will put it to you. I'll put it this way. All right, you are fairly close to a relationship. Now, when I say fairly close, there's a relationship that can come your way in August or September. There's a reason why I don't like doing it this way. It's because when I just go ahead and give out dates, then the step work that needs to happen in order for the dates to happen tend to go by the wayside, which is why I fiddle around the other way. Okay, but in August or September. But what's happening right now is that you have an issue between what does your heart really want and what is it that you're saying out in the public or what you're saying out to the universe. So what you're saying out into what your heart is saying that you want a really deep connection. The connection looks like love, but I also want you to be aware that it will be fulfilling, but there's a part of you that also wants to be connected in more than just a romantic way. Does that help you? When we're talking about relationships?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe I've got a twin flame out there.
Okay, so I can tell you right now that your twin flame is not the person that's coming up in August, but that doesn't mean don't take the relationship. What that means is start working on your relationship and start really working on the definition of what you want your relationship to be. Right now, you're like I said, what your heart wants and what you are saying are two different things. So as you go into this relationship, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to have a lot of joy, but then you're also going to say, oh, this is what I really want in life. So is the person going to be twin flame? No, but that doesn't mean just wait for your twin flame. It means get some experience, gain some definition, so that when that person does pop into your life, and they're not in your life right now, you will be ready and you'll be able to recognize them. Because I believe in my philosophy, there are people who are meant to be in your life, but if we don't have our eyes open, right, because we're too busy looking
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
within,
Well,
right?
no, I recognize my twin flame, but he's not awake. This is the problem.
Well, okay, so you could look at it that way, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but what I can also tell you is there's a piece of you that needs to figure out what you want to do and how you want it to be. Now, I'll give you an example, right? I'm 49 years old, and I grew up with, I would love to have a house, a white picket fence. I want to have a husband that's with me all the time, that we do everything together. So I got that. I didn't get that white picket fence, but I got this really cool house, and I was, and I had the husband and the family. But what I found was that in my experience, it wasn't what I was brought up and what I thought I wanted, right? And it wasn't that my husband was a bad guy. It was we were really young, and our definitions were just a little bit different. And so so I take that information, and just so you know, my now ex-husband and I are very close. We're still good friends, but there you have it. So do you understand what I'm saying about the redefining?
Oh, I know. I know that it's not anything of what you say. The thing is, I've already made that connection. So he's not in my life right now, but he was definitely my other half. And the problem with twin flames are they're not ideal. They never turn out ideal.
If you think about fire and fire, right? So, but boy, when it feels good, it sure feels good, doesn't it? But it's also about consuming.
But no one ever tells you that the other person may not know, or they may run away.
I was going to say I don't disagree with you. I just have a little bit of a different philosophy, and the philosophy is that it could be just that looking in a different. Who knew that I was going to be doing readings? If you were to ask me when I was 16 years old, I wanted to be a writer, and yet here's what my calling ends up being. So here I am looking at writing in English classes when really my heart is telling me something else. So I'm not going to say that he's not awake. What I'm saying is his eyes focus someplace else, so this is not the time. But at the same time, there's stuff that you can work on as well. That's what I'm saying. Okay. And it's really about experience, and it's about experiencing what do you really want in a relationship.
Yeah, there's just not much out there. That's the problem.
Trust me, there is plenty out there for you if you because remember now your eyes are focused on your twin flame, which means that your vision is pretty I don't want to say narrow, but it's focused. So now it's about widening and relaxing and playing, which is what today's thing was about. And you'll find people that you're going to have a really good time with, and the relationship will come. It's just not the twin flame relationship that you're looking at, but it's necessary in order for you to progress in what you want in that real, authentic, long-lasting, rest of your life relationship. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Bye-bye.
So, bye-bye. Have a good one. The next I have Keisha from North Carolina, and she is Aquarius, one of my favorite people. They keep me, how's it going, Ms. Aquarius?
Going okay.
How
are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. I'm a Virgo, and so it's nice to have an Aquarian in my life because I tend to get a little rigid, and, Aquarians are fluid.
I had to knock some things apart. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I got to switch it up for you a little bit.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So, Keisha, what's up? How can I help you?
I was looking to see if you see a job coming my way or some type of downfall of money to help me out a little bit.
Okay, so here's what I'd like to tell you. There's a windfall that's going to be coming, but if you focus on the windfall, you're going to miss it, right? Because what will happen is that you'll spend the next $20 on lottery tickets to find out that there's $60 on the floor right next to you, but you're too busy sitting on your scratcher, right? So what I'd like you to know is, one is that you are super As much as you're an aquarium, you're pretty much in your head. You process a lot, and so I won't say that you overthink stuff, but there's an analyzing part of you that kind of tucks you into things and tucks you out of things before you actually get to the point.
That's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you can just go, hey, this
I should be a Libra, right? Yeah.
Oh gosh, I.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that would be painful for you to be a Libra.
Yeah.
I would just say that you're pretty analytical. But the nice thing is that once you run, so you either run to something or you run away from something. So that can be a really good thing. But because you process so much, sometimes you run before it's time that you need to run, right?
Yeah.
Because it's overanalyzed. So if you can do this and just for the heck of it, go, hey, I'm going to try these next 4 jobs, and you can make them as outrageous as you want. So if someone's looking to be a vice president, if they're looking for a vice president in marketing, and you haven't done any marketing at all, who cares? Just go, just for the hell of it. Get that Aquarian flow and love in there, and what will happen is by you doing this, it'll open up opportunities in different avenues, and then a job will come to you. The other thing too is that you're kind of picky, so I'm glad we're not talking about love. But
what's wrong with my love life? Oh.
There's nothing wrong with your love life. I'm just saying that you're super picky. So, what we're doing. So what I wanted to tell you is that because you're picky, what you want to do is just be open. When jobs come your way, even though they don't look ideal on paper, go for it. The reason I'm saying that is, again, remember you analyze and talk yourself in and talk yourself out. What that does is it helps you break that habit so that you're going to stay super present, super current, and then what will happen is that then a job will occur. I don't see it happening for a little while because you have to do that interviewing not the interviewing process, the application process itself can be pretty slow. Yeah, but do it. And I also encourage you to do some mock interviews because you overanalyze your interviews as well. So it's hard for you to stay in the flow of things once you get to the interview process.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense when I say that? About that flow? Okay.
Yeah,
Any questions about that?
No, no, because
okay.
You're right. That's basically my issue with that. I overanalyze and talk myself out of everything. And then I say, oh, never mind, and I forget about it. I'll be like, forget about it. So it's like over before I even started. Yeah. And just so you know, the thing happens with the windfall. Oh, and that's what we didn't get to finish the windfall. Just so you know, windfall will be small, but like about $100, but it's not going to happen just once. It's going to happen a couple of times, and that's how you know that you're loosening up. Because if you can see the windfall happening, then you're going, oh my gosh, I would never have looked this way or that way. Do you see what I'm saying? So the windfalls are more than anything else. They're indicators that you are you're loosening up on the analyzing process and getting more into that Aquarian fluid flow kind of thing. Got you. All right.
All right. Do you have any questions?
No, that's it. Unless you want to talk about love. But that's all right.
Tell you what, I will talk to you about love for like 1 second, and then I'm going to encourage you to call on Friday because you are primed for my Friday show. And here's why. My Friday show is about relationships and imagination and projections. All right? So here's what happens. That's totally you. And here's what happens is that you've got a great imagination. So, again, your whole relationship gets played out before you even go out. And so then you know what I mean? So it's kind of like the same thing that you do with your jobs, but you don't give people a chance. In your imagination, you've already taken them to that place, and it didn't work out the way you wanted it to. And
basically, that's how it happened. So it's like, never mind. I don't even want to go there. No. Never mind. Yeah.
Back on Friday so we can get more into it. I've got a couple other callers
will.
I need to take, but I would
Thanks.
love to get into it more with you on Friday.
Okay, I'll call back on Friday then. But thank you so much for everything. You have a blessed day.
You too, Keisha. Thank you so much. All right. Take care.
Bye-bye. Uh-huh.
Bye. All right. So I would love to take a call from Sharon from Nebraska, and then I have some chat questions as well. So Sharon, are you out there?
Yeah, hi, honey. Thanks for taking my call. Hi.
Thank you for calling in. I'm so honored. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're sweet. Sounds like you really don't want to do relationships. So,
oh no, I'm good with relationships. I really am. But what I want to do is, if when we get into it more, I'm happy to do that on Friday as well. So don't feel like you're
okay.
in the wrong form. Okay, that's the last thing I want you to feel.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Then if whatever you can see.
Okay. You know what? You're a really sweet soul. You are in your head a lot. And when I hear in your head, so I was just talking to Keisha. Keisha goes into her imagination. But for you, you go to this place where you're not very nice to yourself. And so it's did you see the movie Inside Out?
No, that's so weird though. I was going to watch it last night and I didn't.
Oh, please watch it. And here's why. Before getting too much into it, it talks about balance. And you're at a place right now, and I'm getting goosebumps, which means this is very, very important, is that you are in a place where as soon as you want to lift yourself up, you have gotten into habit mode that your practical side goes and overanalyzes. And the reason I use analyze is it's not very nice, the things that you say to yourself. It's actually giving me a headache. And so I would be surprised if you give yourself headaches by...
I got it. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I have a headache. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
really...
so really, so that's your homework is to watch Inside Out and tell me how that goes for you. There is relationship in your life. It is in your energy, but you have to make space. And right now, there's no space and energy for a relationship because it's clouded with all these woulda, shoulda, couldas that you are putting on yourself. I mean, honey, nobody is perfect, and so you have all these conditions around who you have to be in order to have this relationship. And you're an amazing person. So watch Inside Out, and then start. Every time you start, and then the next is about catching yourself, right? Catching yourself, be mean to yourself, and then you just say, "Oh, stop that! I don't have time for that because I'm making time for a relationship."
I have a lot of worries about, my daughter and her kids and my life and everything. So I worry a lot.
Yeah, well, if you worry a lot, then there's absolutely no space for you to have a partner. And, a partner would make you really lighten you up more than anything else because you'd have that buddy to as
right.
you they can start judging you and go, get over yourself.
I need to ask a question because I don't very rarely do I see pictures or images.
Uh-huh.
And right before you answered, I was just laying here with my eyes closed, listening, and all of a sudden I got a flash of this little girl, probably 2, 3. And she had her hand over her head, like she was being hurt. And it was terrible. She was naked, and her knees were up, and her hand was over her head. And I don't know who that was or what that was.
So, intuitively speaking, what I'd like to let you know is that is like daydreaming. It was not so cool, right? Daydreaming usually is like, I want to go to Paris, I want to have this person. But what happened is that your guides were very lovely, and they set up the symbol that was so striking that you stood up and paid attention. And the sense that I'm getting. So just so you know, this is symbolic more than it is a call for help by another energy or entity. So please feel, don't worry about that. But what I'm hearing is that you never had a chance to play. You never had a chance to be a kid. You never had a chance
Oh,
to
I did. No. Off. Completely wrong.
Completely off. I apologize.
Completely off.
Let's do it this
I
way.
had a lot of time to play. I had a great childhood.
So then let's put it this way. When's the last time you played like you did when you were a kid?
Summer, when I was with my grandchildren.
Exactly. So it's time to go and revisit that, and it's got to be part of your daily life, because that's where worries go away, and that's how you make space for somebody else. So
okay.
I apologize about that, but that's what they were saying, is that the kid in you is not having a chance to really go out and play and have a good time. So there's no abuse. Don't worry about that. It's more about, hey, here I am, the really young part of me, and I'm being neglected. Okay? It's not anything bad, but go play. Have a really good time.
All
okay?
right, thank you.
Thank you. My next caller is Sylvia in New York. Sylvia, you're there?
Hi, yes. Thank you so much for taking.
Thank you so much for calling in. How can I help you today?
How are you?
I'm really good. I love the topic of play, and so if I could joke around right now, I would.
Go right on, please. It's a great day for a play.
Here's one for you.
Play.
Yeah. So here's one for you. What did the restaurant review say about the restaurant on the moon?
Restaurant on the moon. I don't know. I give up.
The food we did was no atmosphere. All right, that was my corny joke for the day, and now that I have changed me, let's see if I can make you feel better. How can I help you today?
Yes, I'm having some static with my colleagues, and I've tried being friendly. I've tried surrounding with love. I've even tried ignoring them and just saying, whatever. But I just feel isolated, and I don't know why, because I'm friendly. I like to work with others. I'm a team player. I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong or what I need to do.
Guess what?
You're not doing working in this kind of environment.
Yeah, you're not doing anything wrong. This is one of the few times where when people say, "Hey, it's not you, it's them." It really is. It really is them. They're at a different vibration than you, and they almost feel like. I won't say that there's an age difference, but it's almost as if it's two different philosophies going on in your work, and one philosophy and they're another philosophy. That's not exactly how it looks, but it's an energetic thing. So, I'm not saying that you're not doing your work, but you're going easygoing, and they're coming in a little bit rigid, and so it's hard for you to find a way to break in when they're feeling super rigid. Does that make sense when I say it that way?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
They do feel rigid to me, yes.
What's happening within your lifetime right now is that life is saying, hey, things are really good in your mindset. Let's shake it up in a way that you can't fit. You like to go into fit mode, and the universe is saying some things you can't fix, so let's kind of shake out all that fix-it attitude, right? All those let me fix you instead of let me just be. So this is the place where it's about being. So you can, I won't say this very often, but this is one of the times where you can judge them and walk away and go, oh my God, they're just being so jerky, and just walk away and go, they're being really horrible, and then you just walk away. It's just one of those things that's not for you to fix. The thing that's about fixing is that you can't fix. Sounds weird, but does that help?
I don't want to be that way, because, we should be working as a team,
Sure,
so it's hard to walk away when I have to work with them somewhat. I have to conference them and, I have some dealings with them, so I have to,
Sure, but this is the one time where people, it's kind of like people will go through cranky periods, and we're not talking like a 10-minute tantrum. It's talking about weeks of being cranky, and there's nothing that you can do to help them out of their cranky. The best thing that you can do is be a really good team player and work on what needs to be worked on, and the rest just let that be in their court. That's what I'm saying. So if they want to be really cranky about something, or they want to, there are certain days where I want to be really funny, but there's an edge to me, and I can't figure out why I'm not funny, and it almost feels like a bite. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just the energy that I'm in, and that's where your team is right now. And you're not in that space, so let them be them, and you just go ahead and do your work and be super professional and still be friendly. But this is the time where it's not personal. It's strictly business. Strictly business. And just so you know, it really isn't personal. It's not about you. So there's something stressful going on in one team member's life that's affecting other people. That's the best way to say it.
Do you keep getting better with us in time, or
it will?
Is this it? Is this my life with them?
Yeah, no, it will be fine. It's going to take a little bit, so don't take it personally. And at the same time, it's a great lesson for you to learn not to take things personally. So if you give it 4 months, by summertime, you'll see a shift. And it's just because you're going to be focusing on that. You'll be focusing on your work and on you, which is, that's still being a team player. It's actually learning to be a better team player in a way. If that makes sense. Okay, I promise you, it'll get better by summertime if you learn to, let them tantrum and or whatever, and just do your work and go. By July it's gonna be different.
Well, I'm a teacher, so I'm thinking you're saying like during the summer maybe I won't be working with them in September. That's what I'm thinking.
Probably. Actually, the way I look at it is, how what grade? Oh my gosh, that's when they're at their craziest, right? Where the hormones are going and all that other stuff. So it's almost so it's almost as if you got a really special group and they are really into into all the social stuff, and as well as the hormones, and then by September they will have shifted over, and then you'll have a younger class again.
Right.
So yeah, but you've got a special group right now, so don't worry, don't take it personally.
I love my class now. I love them.
Okay.
With all my heart. Yep.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to not take it personally and just walk away.
Yeah. But trust me, you get a special class every year. This is your special class, and they didn't start out like that, but it just, the spring is really kicking in on them. All right. I have to take one more caller.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for calling in. That was a lot of fun. Take care. I have Mary Lou from New Orleans.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I heard you were just in New Orleans.
Oh my gosh, I love it there. I was just there, and trust me, I can't wait to go back.
Oh, good. You like it then?
What part of New Orleans do you live in?
I'm uptown.
I never have a chance to go up there. I think the only time I went up there was for, one of the Halloween. There was a haunted house up there in Uptown. It was great, amazing. Scared me to death. So worth it. So I heard that you're looking for a message. Is that what you're looking for? Did you want me to just go ahead and get a straight message, or do you have any questions that go with it?
I'm always wanting to know about love or business.
Aren't we all? You know what? Hang on one second. What I'm hearing is that you're an amazing spirit, and that you have the ability to communicate in a way that is not with words. So you're the kind of person that can do an act of kindness, and it actually works better for you communicating than it does with words. Now, I'm not saying that don't ever talk. It's just that, you're super thoughtful, and that you communicate well through acts. Okay? Does that make sense?
Well, I'm a photographer.
Oh, that totally makes sense. That totally
there you
makes sense. Yeah. So, so you're an extremely communicator. There is a part of you that is a little bit split right now, and all that means in the split is that there's a little bit of a disagreement between what is spiritual work versus what is practical work, and for you, they're together. There is this is a great time for you to explore different avenues. So because you're a photographer, go ahead and take on other things. This is a year for success. So no matter what you want to do, you're going to do very well. The caveat is that success is not judgmental. So if you're going to say, you know what, that was a really crappy photo, success goes, okay, let's make a whole bunch of crappy photos. And then you're like, what the heck just happened? So this is really a good time for you to explore in the spirit of joy. And there is a piece of you that has some sadness, and so to tap into the sadness, do you take candids? Do you take candid shots?
Sometimes.
It would actually serve you well to take some candid shots of things that are very touching and a little bit on the sad side. You don't have to be for show, but I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't sell some of those photos, because there's a part of you that can convey that emotion, and it's something that is wanting you to express right now, that you can go to the other side and experience joy. Okay? You're an amazing, amazing, amazing person.
Well, thank you.
So much fun. Yeah. Do you walk a lot?
Not as much as I should.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing if you walk and and then take your camera with you, because that's where it's all going to happen. So this is one of the things where you want to take yourself on a field trip, and the goal of success is for you to feel something just for yourself, and then see what happens with the public once you show people those photos. You'll be surprised.
I'm marketing 2 bodies of work, and one is homeless people who build their own homes. They're not candids. I totally like them.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That works. That totally works. What's the other one?
But I've been doing it for 23 years. I can't get funding. I've yet to secure it. I'm hoping this will be the year.
Well, here's the thing, is that there is something that you're really good at in your candids. Like I said, there's part of you that can evoke an emotion that doesn't happen when. I'm not saying that your shots aren't amazing, but there's something in the candids that's going to help you switch over to the other side. You know what I mean? From funding to not funding. I mean, not funding to funding. And that's just the missing link, because what you're doing is that you're feeling it, but there's a part of you that just needs to go a little bit deeper, and it's not for anybody else but for you. And then once you feel that, then it's all going to take over. Don't be surprised if that. When you say that you're getting funding, does that mean you don't sell them privately as well?
I don't sell privately. I take assignments. And I make my living by selling my service on assignments, not by selling tangible products.
Got it.
Trying to keep them in museums and galleries. It has to be a certain kind of place that would take a homeless photo.
Sure.
It's not something you would buy at a sale, and it's not stuff that should be sold at a sale.
No, I get it, because you're actually you're making a huge statement.
So I'm also photographing spirituality in New Orleans, and again, it's not something that should be matching your couch.
That's true. However, I do believe that there is a market for you, and I do believe that because you're so good at candid shots, that you will be able to sell privately. And more than anything else, it's not about money. It gains exposure in a different way, and that is what success is for you. Okay, does that make sense when I say that?
Yes.
Great. Well, listen, I have to head on out. Thank you so much for being my last caller, especially from New Orleans. Love it. It's like you're my sister. Thank you so much for calling. I would like to thank everybody who called, and I apologize if I didn't get to you this time. I will be back on Friday at 1 o'clock PST, Pacific Standard Time, to talk about relationships. We can talk about relationships on Friday or not. I'm happy to take your calls. Thank you so much. Have a great week, and I will talk to you on Friday.
Thank you for listening to another empowering show. Tune in every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Monday and Friday to hear our live shows. Learn more about our live shows at www.angelheartforyouRadio.com and keep tuning in to the Angel Heart for You radio channel.